Hi guys, what's going on and welcome to another video. First of all, I'd like to say happy Father's Day to anyone out there that is a father. Hope you've had a good day. Hope any kids out there, go and say happy Father's Day to your dad. That's the first thing, because why not? Secondly, I'm trying a little bit of a different style of video today. So the character build has built up quite a lot of just builds, and I'm quite interested just to go through a couple of them. People have been asking for a lot of builds, a lot of ideas on builds. Obviously this site is perfect for that sort of thing. So I'm going to go through a couple of them and hopefully just talk through them, tell you why they're good or bad or whatever. So first of all, we're going to go on to Norsk's build. Very, very strong. He has the run with the stealth, obviously burst with the poison, the double poison. I don't know if he's still using the major healing potion, if he's actually moved on to the poison pot now. But very, very good setup for ganking if that's something you're interested in. Like I said, the poison arrow to keep them constantly dotted. They can't get gallop on mounts. Speed shot allowing you to close the distance very quickly. You can use this on like rodents and stuff that are just running around, or mobs, just to use the speed increase just to catch up. Obviously the magic arrow doing a lot of damage if they're far away. The poison, again, just a bit more damage output. You don't really need any more defensives. The stealth to outplay people, the kites, and then obviously the run to keep up with people when he's trying to dismount them. Very, very solid build. Obviously watch Norse videos on YouTube. They are very, very cool and very nice to see. So let's go back. Let's have a look at a couple more solo builds. So you've got Watted's boltcaster's build. So I don't actually like this one. This is aimed at GVGs. So the problem with this build is you've got the assassin boots, which allows you to, he uses dodge roll, so it allows you to get through some CC, avoid some damage, but ultimately they aren't a great defensive. They're not a very reliable defensive, let's say that. They've got the mage robe, which offers good damage and obviously has the frost armor for a defensive, but he's using mage cow. I really don't like this. I wish he was using either scholar or cleric, because he just only has one real defensive. I get he's using the resistance pot, but he only has one real defensive to do anything with. Obviously, I understand the point of the build. The point of the build is to pop the poison with the noise eraser into the boltcaster's E, do a lot of damage. I just can't see how only having one defensive is ever going to be good for him. So yeah, let's move on. I'm going to try and find some actually recent. Can I find any newer ones? Ah, there we go. We've got some here. So we've got a ganking build here. Let's have a look at this. So tier 8 carving sword. Obviously we'll forget about the tiers. Carving sword. You've got the heroic strike, which allows you to the speed increase with the slow on W, and the E, which I believe is a slower route. Is it a route? Oh no, so it's a slow depending on the Q stacks. That's actually a really strong build now, potentially. He's using the scholar cow. Don't really know why he's using the scholar cow. Oh, okay, he's using it for force field to knock people back. Okay, so the idea is he charges them, knocks them back into like a team, I presume, with obviously the slows on. He's got the stealth to catch people off. I don't know why you'd use the night boot shield charge over the run. I can't see that being good. I think you would definitely use the run every time. Let's see if we can find some more. We'll do a couple like solo builds, and then we'll move over to like the group builds and stuff like that, which would be pretty cool. Best dueling build. Okay, so we've got the tier 8 life curse staff. I can already tell you this is not the best dueling weapon. Don't ever try this, it's terrible. The tier 8 life curse staff, the mage cow with poison, the mercenary jacket, the night boots, and the sarcophagus. So let me explain why this isn't a great ganking build, or sorry, a great dueling build. Okay, so the poison. The poison's going to get immediately ignored because it doesn't actually do that much damage, and in fairness, you're going to pop it around the same time you pop Mercenary Jacket, and Mercenary Jacket's 100% counter is invulnerabilities. Almost every person right now runs some sort of invulnerability, whether it is Ice Block, or whatever. So they pop Mercenary Jacket, you're going to Ice Block. That ignores the poison damage as well. Life Curse Staff can be easily kited out of. The Night Boots are a little bit of a gap closer and a little bit tanky, but I think the chest and the headpiece here are going to be ignored. The life care staff just isn't very good in a 1v1 situation, especially using Bane. If you're going to do it, use, I believe it's called Hit and Run, which is speed increase every 4 casts on curse staff. Yeah, I definitely think there's a lot of things that could be improved with this build. Let's have a look at some group builds. Okay, give this a shot. That seems pretty awesome. Okay, so first of all we have... Let's actually open all of them. I think I know where this is going. Okay, so the Tornado. I really like this build. This build is so cool. So on this you have the... I'm going to ignore this weapon for now. You have the Guardian Helmet with Stone Skin, which makes you stupidly tanky, with increased CC duration. That's very, very important. You have the Night Boots with the shield charge to close distance, obviously make you more tanky with the increased CC duration. And then you have the Soldier's Armor, increased CC duration, with the Fury. Fury, every time you get hit, you get a stack up to 10 stacks, which gives you increased crowd control duration up to 100%, meaning you can actually get up to about 120%, I believe, which is just crazy, crazy strong. You knock someone into the air with that then. Oh wow, you can get it with the Dread-Laden Fighting as well. Okay, so that's super good. You can then knock people into the air. Like Clothies, you're going to knock them into the air for like 6 or 7 seconds. It's so, so good. The rest of the team comp is just going to be a wombo combo to follow that. So let's have a look. So I love this build, by the way. Go and test this out in beta. It's really, really strong. Obviously, the only problem is it does require a Hell Artifact. The Holy... So, I don't like this. I'm going to talk over it. Holy Staff, brilliant. Holy Staff's good. Aggressive caster, using all the right abilities on there. Tier 6, the Mercenary Hood with Cleanse and Quick Thinker. I don't know about the Quick Thinker, actually, but definitely Mercenary Helmet, good. Eye of Secrets, again, Eye of Secrets, very, very strong. Druid Robe. Druid Robe gives him a great amount of healing, however, no defensive cooldown. Any single group that gets in that is going to pick that healer apart immediately, like a rush comp, a melee comp. You get a triple melee comp that dives onto that healer, he's just going to instantly die. Like, there's nothing he's going to do about it. Yeah, so I don't think that's very good, to be honest. And then obviously he's got the Assassin Shoes, so that gives him something to get out of trouble, but it isn't going to do much for him. I definitely don't like the Druid Robe. Use the Mage Robe, use the Frost Armor, you'll get a lot better results. Also, never use the Energy Potion, if it even still exists. And the Brimstone Staff. So again, I kind of don't like what he's done, actually. So obviously the idea is the team knocks another group into the air with the Tornado, then the Brimstone comes down on top with like a full stack Druid Robe. The problem with this is you have no defensive, so any team that manages to either survive that or outplay it is going to dive straight onto the healer, straight onto the Fire Staff. The Fire Staff only has Ice Block really as an actual defensive. He's going to get ripped apart so quickly. Again, another one that I just really don't like at the moment. Again, use the Mage Robe, use the Scholar Robe maybe, even get them faster casts, because that does work with Meteor. But no, I don't think the Druid Robe really has a place in this setup. Again, I like this. The idea is you can have a big wombo combo in one place. Having the Icicle stops them being able to do anything about it. I don't know why they're using the increased resistance rather than CC duration, but still, it's a pretty common sort of build. I don't ever see the Cleric Cowl. I think the Scholar Cowl will do better, having the increased resistances and energy regain. The Knight's Armor, good. Knight's Boots, good. The Icicle was just a strong weapon anyway. And then you have the Light Crossbow. The Light Crossbow, I presume, is just going to go all out again. So the idea is they're going to put everything into that one combo, blow someone up, and if they don't manage it, that's their team dead, because this guy has no defenses. He has a Caitiff Shield, which isn't particularly defensive. He has an Assassin Jacket, which great, he can stealth, but that means his healer can't top him off either. He has the Assassin Shoes, which is great, he can sprint away, but that's only going to get away from his healer. And then he has the Mage Cowl, which is going to do great damage, but he isn't going to survive anything. Any group that jumps onto either the Brimstone, the healer, or the crossbow is just going to insta-kill them. So again, I like the idea of the setup, I just think it could be set up better. Let's go over one or two more group builds and then we're probably going to wrap this video up. So I actually very much like this team comp. Let's have a look. So we have the heavy mace at the front, Disruption Master as he's called himself, with the demon helmet, knight's armor, knight's boots, and the heavy mace. Very, very common setup, but I'm not even going to talk over it. It's pretty much the meta for the tanks in Galahad, and it's kind of followed over into Hector now as well. Very, very strong setup. Obviously the silence is very long. Yeah, you're just going to annoy people with this build, and that's kind of what you need to be able to do. The Clarent, again, pretty common Clarent build. I like the fact that he's used the Stalker Jacket and instead swapped to the Guardian Armor. It means he can go in with the Stalker Jacket, stack up a 3-stack of ease, do a big hit and then use the Guardian to get out safely, and he's pretty much always going to be safe with that. Obviously the Knight Boots just gives him a little bit more tankiness. I would actually potentially swap these to the Assassin Boots. Assassin Boots means you can roll out of things like a Wind Wall, makes it potentially a little bit stronger, but again I like this setup for Clarent. The enigmatic staff. So this means that there's two plates on that team, and I don't know how I feel about this. That gives a lot of tankiness, but not a lot of damage. So you get another demon helmet there, and okay, I can kind of see where you're coming from with that one. You get the knight's armor with the knight's boots, offers some tankiness and appeal for the backline. Obviously you have the silence onto another backline and maybe chain it on their healer. And then you have the enigmatic staff, basically to buff the Clarent's damage. Again, you're all focusing on that Clarent though. Any team that manages to pick apart that Clarent or CC him out of a fight isn't really going to be able to... It's just going to 100% counter this comp by the looks of it. We have the Holy Healer, again, gone with the same thing. He's gone with the... Okay, so he's gone with the Druid Robe, but actually using Frost Shield. Druid Robe is actually slightly tankier than Mage Robe. I believe it's the same as Cleric for stats, but don't quote me on that. So yeah, I can see that. I still think Mage is better with Frost Shield, but that's just my personal opinion. As long as he's actually using Frost Shield for the defensive, then yeah, okay. But he still only has one real defensive in that. Maybe the Knight Boots would sit better with me, in my opinion. But again, using the same weapon and same offhand again. And then you have the Whispering Bow. So this is a weird one. This is one you don't really see. Whispering Bow in GVGs or Hellgates, to be honest. The Mage Cow, actually, I'm going to go back on what I said earlier about not liking Mage Cow. Mage Cow is very, very good with Whispering Bow because your E actually works as an auto attack, which means you can apply Mage Cow from such a long distance away, and that's really, really cool. So you can actually pump this into someone really, really far away, and they're going to hit with a poison guaranteed. So that's really cool. He still has the Mage Robe for a defensive. He still has the Cleric Sandals. I don't know why he's using the Cleric Sandals, but okay, if that's what he wants to do. I've played around with the Cleric Sandals and they were really fun. Yeah, so the whole part of that group comp, I've actually still got the group comp. Let's go back to it. Was it that one? Yeah. So the whole point of this group comp is the tank jumps in and disrupts while the Clarent runs in and just pumps out a lot of damage, with the enigmatic beaming him and the bow sitting behind and picking off targets, which is great. It gives the team a lot of tankiness. However, anything that can stop that beam working, meaning the Clarent isn't going to get off his full damage, basically counters this entire team comp. Yeah, I'm not sure I like that one. So we'll do one more quickly. This is a 14-minute video. Okay, wow, we're going to do one more quickly. I'm going to see if I can find a really interesting one. You know what? That could be really interesting. So I've actually run something very similar to this, and it was crazy, crazy fun. So, again, what he's using here is the Incubus mace. He's using the Stalling Slam to stop the targets regaining energy, and he plays a sustain game, basically. He has the Shrinking Curse, meaning he can root and then Shrinking Curse, reducing healing by 50%, and reducing damage by 50%, which means they're just not going to get kills off while that's active. He has the Demon Helmet to secure kills. He has the Cative Shield for the increased CC. He has the Knights and both the Knight sets just for tankiness, obviously Peels and CC. I really like that setup. Really, really strong. I wish more people used the Incubus mace. Hellgate. Wow, what is that? That's terrible. Okay, so the Stalker Hood is great. I actually really like the Stalker Hood because you can, when they get low, if they get below 50%, you reduce their resistances and you get a damage buff. You can really pump out some burst, especially with the Carrion Cooler. So I've played that and I really liked it. What I don't like is, so he's using the Hellion Shoes. The idea is he's going to ping onto someone, they're going to get healing reduction. And he's going to be immune during that. However, he's going to appear at them, which means he has to over-engage. He has to be engaging on a target, and he has no defensive to survive that. So I would say get rid of Ambush, swap it to Inferno Shield. You're still very, very squishy, very bursty. However, you'll do a lot more than I think you would do with the Ambush. Moving on then to... Okay, moving on to the GVG Bow. Wailing Bow. I wish more people use a Wailing Bow in Hellgates and GVGs. Wailing Bow is really strong. I played Wailing Bow Hellgates the other day. In the new Hellgates, Wailing Bow is amazing fun. So strong. Again, I think it's very, very undervalued. Yeah, using the... I don't know about the Poison Arrow. I agree with the Speed Shot. I don't know about Poison Arrow. I don't really know what Q you'd use for Hellgates. None of them really do particularly much, and you can't really use the long cast Q. Maybe Poison Arrow is the best one then. Again, not using a defensive. Mage Cowl, Assassin Jacket, Assassin Shoes. Use the roll on Assassin Boots, use the Inferno Shield on the jacket. Maybe you can get away with a Cowl. Or swap the Cowl to Cleric so you have the Ice Block, and then use the Stealth on Assassin Jacket to buff your E. Maybe... I don't know, but I don't like the fact he has no defensive again. People really underestimate defensives in this game. Moving on then to the Curse Staff. Okay, I just looked at this with such a weird look, but actually this is a really cool build. I've played this with a slightly different helmet. So he's got the Great Curse Staff. The Great Curse obviously has the Vile Curse, which is a dot. He has the Armor Piercer just to reduce resistances on the enemy team. Going to mean your team does quite a bit more damage. Has the Aura Decay to reduce, remove all heals over times and apply the Vile Curse. He has the Fiend Cowl to remove any defensives. I looked at that and went, oh, he has no defensives then. But actually, he has the Mercenary Jacket with the with Bloodlust for the heals. He has the Guardian Boots as well, allows him to be basically just unkillable, like 50% damage reduction for the time. Which means if he chains them two together, that's maybe like 20 odd seconds of just pure, he's not going to die. And then the Fiend Cowl obviously removes all positive effects. That could be really, really strong. Yeah, that's playing as more a support build, Great Curse Staff. So, yeah, I can see how that would work. And then finally we have... Oh, people don't listen. We have the Nature Healer running Druid Cowl with the Energy Regen, running Druid Robe with the Obsessive Burst, and running Night Boots with Shield Charge. Now... I can understand why you would run Druid Robe with the Nature Staff. You do a lot of casts, a lot of hots. All of them are going to be ticking for a lot more healing. That's all great. That's good. However, don't use Druid Cowl then, because if you use Druid Cowl, then you're giving the enemy a reason just to insta-kill you. You're not going to be able to heal through burst damage because you're not even running the Druidic Staff. You're running the Wild, which is the AoE heal. Like, it's great. You have the Cleanse, you have the mana, you have the Shield Charge, but I just don't think you're ever going to deal with pressure on that healer. But yeah, so anyway guys, this has been a ridiculously long video. I do apologise for that. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this type of video, please let me know down below. Very interested to hear your thoughts on the matter. Like, comment, subscribe, and catch you later guys. Goodbye.